Thanks for stopping by as we creep closer to 7:50. We got Lee Scott, 8 o'clock in the morning, produced by Dirty Dike. So let's just jump in, man. See what they got for us.
Big dogs or the chaos. Close the curtains and dine and it's fine. But saving the world is a crime. While sinners circle a shrine and a tin army keep the wooden workers in line. Chop, chop, dig, dig until there's nothing left. Knock, knock, who's there? Probably deaf. Found a sense of humor and lost your breath. Laughing then back in 10. Worry not, practice then. While screaming fuck the cops.
Man, this production by Dike is cool. I'm trying to think of the sample. It reminds me of my daughter does competitive dance. It kind of reminds me of how that almost like 1930s or something type of theater music would be. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from it. Anyway, it's a cool sample, man. And the beat, I love the heaviness, thickness, kind of like, I guess thickness is kind of the best term I could think of it, of the beat. The very first thing that grabs me on this though is I love how Scott just jumps on and starts talking about how like the big dogs order chaos, and then they can sit back and dine, pretend everything's fine, put their head on the pillow, go to sleep at night, no worry, and no worries about what's going on the planet. And we're the what do you say, the wooden workers? I think he called us the wooden workers. We kind of build a shrine for these people, and like we pray at this altar. We of this. Do whatever we can for our bosses in order to keep them and keep us employed, keep them happy, keep us employed. And there's no depth of which we will go in order to do that. And the tin soldiers, keeping them in line, make sure everyone just stays in tow, man, and just does their thing. Stays in lockstep, I guess, is kind of what I'm thinking of here. And the chop, chop, dig, dig till there's nothing left. I mean, isn't cutting down the trees, digging up all the minerals, all the nutrients, all the cobalt and the copper and all that kind of shit, man. Just kind of raping the earth of that shit. And the thing that kind of reminded me too when he talked about the death comes knocking kind of at the door thing. My very first thing that popped in my head was the Monty Python skit, where I think they serve the tuna, and they're not too sure if the wife's not too sure if they should serve it. I think it's the wife, and they serve it anyways, and everyone dies, and then death comes knocking at the door, and only like Monty Python can do, they make that just a very memorable experience. But it's also too is kind of you find, to me, it's almost like you find your sense of humor, and then it's too late. Right, it's like you find your sense of humor, then you take your last breath, and it's kind of you understand the joke when the joke's over. If you know what I'm trying to say, it all occurs to you, and you're like, oh shit, and then that's it, you're gone. Anyway, cool. I mean, especially what's happening these days, world's gone batshit crazy. It seems like a whole new level of crazy. So this song is like a decade old, and it could have been released yesterday.
big dogs or the chaos. Close the curtains and dine and it's fine. But saving the world is a crime. Whilst in a circle, a shrine, and a tin army keep the wooden workers in line. Chop, chop, dig, dig, until there's nothing left. Knock, knock, who's there? Probably deaf. Found a sense of humor and lost your breath. Laughing then, back in 10, worry not, practice then. While screaming fuck the cops. The only advice I've got is live and stay positive. But keep the receipts for any props you give, until the witch hunts heading to where them corporate bosses live. Political agitator, getting stoned like the Sabbath breaker. Money is the root of all evil, and I see the fascinators we call people. What did the post-mortem say? They switched them off cause he awoke all the way. Don't answer any phone calls today. Before it's 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. Make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. We make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. I make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray.
They are the predator, you're the prey.
Pray. We make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. We make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. I make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray.
They are the predator.
Bro, this hook is sick. I really like it. I feel like I'm might be missing a reference to 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not 100% sure what that's about. But he even brings up that whole thing, the root of all evil. Money's the root of all evil, right? And that kind of goes back to the idea of not wanting to piss off the people in charge, not wanting to piss off your bosses. Just continue to chop and dig till there's nothing left. And it popped into my head too the second time I heard it, was that it kind of sums up us too, right? In the fact that we go to work, whatever our work is, we put in the work, we chop, and at the same time we're digging, right? We're digging in our grave. It's like so many people work their fingers to the bone with nothing on the horizon but retirement. And as we're chopping, we're just slowly chopping ourselves down. But at the same time, we're digging our grave, right? Because he says there's nothing left. Kind of makes me think that way as well. Very cool double meaning to that. Because he makes you think they're talking about Earth. Because he talks about saving the planet. And then he brings in the chop, dig. It makes you think about Earth, but at the same time, I mean, it works both ways, right? Mother Earth and as well as ourselves.
Clock in the morning, pray.
They are the predator, you're the prey.
Pray. We make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. We make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. I make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray.
They are the predator, you're the prey.
It's a still summer's day, but it sounds like autumn when I'm walking on the remains of memory lane, like dry leaves that crunch beneath me feet. But when I look, it's just the concrete cooking in the heat on a long and lonely street without a soul to greet or a dog to show its teeth. I think aloud and address a non-existent crowd and talk frank. And prior to this moment, it's all blank, and these empty thoughts are intricate. You can see the air forcing itself around you as you're walking into it. Feel it tingling from your toes to your fingertips. Only in death will you understand what existence is. But between me and you, this life is like flickering lights in the rear view. An incessant need for new, a constant redrafting of the morals we adhere to. Then one day you'll awake in the same place. No one around, no trace of life that isn't possible.
Bro, this is... I'm loving this whole second verse, bro. He's talking about, in my mind, how I'm singing this, that the whole thing into the sense of need for new, right? And then at the first verse, he's talking the root of all evil. The money is the root of all evil, right? And he talks about our morals, the fact that because we have this incessant need of always the next big thing, the iPhone 15, the iPhone 16, the 17, the 18, the 19. I mean, these motherfuckers will put it out forever as long as we keep buying it. 75-inch television ain't enough. We need 82. Then we need a 90. We need 100. No, 110. To our whole fucking house is one giant television. No matter where we go, there's a screen. Screen in our hand. Screen in our backpack. Screen on the wall. It's all there, but it's never enough. We always need that new. And the root of all evil is that money is, and doing that, cutting ourselves down, digging that hole. And I think this whole second verse, man, has me feeling like it's summer is like, it makes you think of, fun and warmth and vitality, and then autumn is death, right? It's the the autumn days of your life. It's like summer has come, and then the next thing you know, it becomes autumn, and all you have left is those memories, but those memories are fleeting to the point where because you start to have Alzheimer's, you get older, your memory starts to go. So you just have this idea where you live this life, next thing you know, your life is over, and you have nothing but these fleeting memories that sometimes pop in your head when you walk over top of them, like the sound of autumn leaves crunching beneath your feet. You don't understand existence until there's death, and the tingling, all that kind of stuff. I think that's where he went from. He's explaining the sensation of death. You reach that point, man. What a great song! Bro, he's such a poet, man.
Loud and address a non-existent crowd and talk frank. And prior to this moment, it's all blank, and these empty thoughts are intricate. You can see the air forcing itself around you as you're walking into it. Feel it tingling from your toes to your fingertips. Only in death will you understand what existence is. But between me and you, this life is like flickering lights in the rear view. An incessant need for new, a constant redrafting of the morals we adhere to. Then one day you'll awake in the same place. No one around, no trace of life that isn't past tense and gracious sight. And with the click of your fingers, day is night. Switch the full spectrum on and off as you please. No gods to drop to your knees to. Pray, make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. We make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. I make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray.
Day of the predator, you're the prey.
Pray, make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. We make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray. I make it past 8 o'clock in the morning, pray.
Day of the predator, you're the prey.
Pray.
Yeah, man, that whole thing, the end of that second verse, man, it just kind of solidified that whole feeling. That hearing it again the second time of him saying the incessant need of new. There's no like depth that will go when it comes to our morals, right? That the things that we'll do in order to afford that money, in order to make that money to afford the things that we don't need because we just want new all the time. It's never enough. And there's no depth, man. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying. It's the chop, it's the dig. We keep chopping into who we are and our morals and our beliefs and everything about ourselves. We just keep chopping, and we take little pieces out, digging that grave, and it's all for the next thing, man. And next thing you know, he's talking about the light switch, just day is night. And that's what life feels like, man. You guys know, man. I just turned 50, and that shit just feels like, at times, it felt like life was long, and then now it's like I'm 50, and it's like it feels like it's been literally that, right? And soon it'll be that light flickering in the rear view, man. Everything that I've left behind, and all I can see is that the flickering memories, and eventually I won't remember them anymore. They'll just be gone. It's what a cool song, man. Very deep, meaningful, thoughtful song, man. Great track, no surprise. I'm glad you guys were here and enjoyed it with me, man, because it's one of those songs you definitely want to enjoy with somebody. That was dope, man. I love you guys for being here, and we continue to do this. Hopefully we'll be here doing it again this time next year as we're creeping closer to 1,000 videos. Hopefully it won't take me that long, but you know what I'm saying. All right, guys. I love you guys for being here, and until next time, stay safe. Good to each other.